Nah, but like how you said, you know how you said, in the 90's we were out there in the streets, um, like the prices at Home Depot, and I want to say that that's probably like, a lot of the reason a lot of this madre happened because what happens when you leave a bunch of kids unattended? You know what I mean? You know, they act a fool. You know what I mean? See, if you leave a bunch of kids, in a location unsupervised, they're gonna get into some shit. And those are facts. And I think that was probably like a lot of people's mistakes, like leaving your kids unattended because kids are gonna be kids. You know what I mean? They're gonna act a fool. That's what kids do. So I think that that's probably why a lot of shit happened. You know, because when you leave a bunch of kids unattended, they're gonna get into all kinds of this madre. That's naturally the nature of them. You know. But then it goes back to like you could be mad at the things that they did, but then it's like, well, why did you leave your kid unattended then? You know what I mean? You can't leave something unattended and then wonder why shit ends up going the way it does. Because this is different from letting kids be kids to letting kids be kids, but also like supervising them as well, not just like forgetting you have them. But a lot of people like to do that. A lot of people like to distract their kids. Like, here's the phone, go over there, or here's a tablet, or go play your video games over there. Because then the person, you as a parent, you get to do whatever you wanted to do, or gossip or talk to your friend, or be in your own little world, right? Like if you don't have any kids, pues, not having to have any responsibilities. That's why they always give these kids all these distractions. That way they could just pretty much have their alone time. But it's like, your alone time's over, bro. You're a parent now. It's time to be a parent. You know what I mean? So all that wanting to be single and free, that shit's over, bro. You know what I mean? Now it's time to do stuff as a family together instead of just, here, go over there and leave me alone before I can do whatever I want to do. Like wanting personal time, bro. Come on now. And then wonder why shit happens the way it happens. Come on now. I see that a lot. I see a lot of people, they don't pay attention to their kids. No los pelan. The quickest thing always to do is like, here's the phone, go over there and leave me alone. Or like go play on your tablet or your game. Like, hey, neglection. That's neglection, bro. That's neglection. Yeah, because you want your spare time. You want your free time. You want to be, alone to do whatever the fuck you want to do. And then you wonder why your kids end up getting into some shit or shit like that, or wondering, well, how did you not even know that this was happening? Well, yeah, because you wanted your alone time, bro. There you go. That's the outcome for your alone time. You got to pay the piper now. I hope it was worth it. Ash Fry was good, Rogelio. I see that a lot, and I see my homies do that shit a lot, and I tell them, hey, don't do that, dog. Like, go over there and play. We ain't going nowhere. Like when we're having a let's say like a birthday party, whatever, and I go over whatever, and the kids are like, oh hell yeah, like they always get happy when they see me. You see me running around with them, playing the water guns, the Nerf battles, and everything, and the homies are like, hey, wait, cállate para acá, güey, deja los morros, and it's like, well, hold on, let me chill, with them for a bit, and I be doing my thing with them, and then I go chop it up with the homies. That way, at least I spend some time with them, and you know what I mean, instead of being like, fuck it. I ain't gonna bother my dad because he's just gonna yell at me if I go tell him something right now. Because I see a lot of homies do it. Like, hey, estoy hablando con los amigos, vete para allá. And it's like, dude, the kid's gonna think that, anytime he comes and tells you something is not important, that whatever anybody else has going on is more important than what you got going on. So, so why even try? So then they bother to stop interacting with their parents. And then they wonder why the kids are so distant from the parents. Like, ese pinche niño nunca quiere hacer nada, nomás ahí tirado. Well, yeah, anytime que te pelaba, lo mandabas a la verga. So, it comes to a point where the fool gives up, like, for what? ¿Para qué les voy a decir algo si me va a mandar a la chingada, So, fuck it. So, and that's cool shit, bro, And I know because, like, we chop it up, and I tell them, hey, well, why don't you even for what? If just be like, and I take notes, bro, of all these behaviors because it helps. Well, helps with my classes. So should I say? It's my son's birthday. That's right. Happy birthday to your morro, my boy. How's he turning? Ya está grande, huh? Bump into this homie at the mall, and homie was telling me he knows how to use the phone better than me, and me and this. Serio. And and a lot of people, they rather be in their own little world, when their kids are trying to get their attention, like they're busy on their, like I hate when fools they're on their phones and their kids are telling them, hey, dad, see, está bien, oh yeah. It's like no los pe fool. They think that kids are really that dumb. Fool. The kid is observing that you're not observing what he's doing, so he's not able to comprehend it, but he's understanding the situation. Like, okay, well, he doesn't find it interesting or important what I had. And to the kid, whatever he has to tell you, I mean, it might be not important. It might be some dumb stuff, but to the kid, it's important. You know what I mean? Because he's little, so to him, it's important. You know what I mean? I know to you as an adult, well, you don't see it important, but to him, it's an importance, and that's why they get excited. And even if it's something small, but you see the excitement in them because they find it important. So now when you don't show no interest, well, they're like, oh, well, he doesn't find it. You know what I mean? You start building their attitudes like that to why even care for shit like this and stuff like, and they become numb to those emotions. So then they grow up becoming numb to those emotions, and when they're numb, I mean, a lot of fucking shit happens, and they don't see no, like, what's the big deal about it? Like, I don't get it why everyone's being upset about it or anything like that. Like, because I grew up with this kind of shit being normal. You know what I mean? So, and he's gonna be like, well, you're not gonna tell me that my parents raised me wrong, so you're wrong. My behavior is not wrong. You're wrong. Because it's kind of like that. That's why a lot of teenagers, you can't tell them anything and shit like that, and they rebel because you're not going to tell them that their parents raised them wrong. You're wrong because you're not going to tell them that their parents are wrong. You get me? So that's why they end up, growing up with those, thinking those behaviors. He's 3. Órale, todavía está morrito. Órale. How many you got, my boy? What's your first one? Oh, what's good? 6 to 6. 6 to 6 is definitely up in the building. ¿Qué onda, hijo? ¿Te dejaron salir? Yeah, todavía está morrito. What are you gonna do with him? Should I be taking my kids to Chuck E. Cheese? Man, they have a blast right there. See me running around after them. I ain't even gonna lie. I have fun in those places too. I ain't even gonna lie. Acting like if I don't. Hasta they even sell pisto there. No, la madre. Oh, well, where don't they? Now, even at barbershops, you can drink pisto now. Like, so puta madre. I don't know about that. I see barbers who they cutting hair and drinking pisto. Like, I don't know about that, homie. Like, che, vatos salen todos trasqueados. All fucked up. Like, damn, what's up with that lineup, bro? She'd be looking like somebody was trying to handwrite up. Hey, homie, a different topic. What do you think about the rappers that are rocking the SPN and that shit like that? I'm gonna tell you this. Nowadays, in the internet, the internet gets me mad sometimes. I ain't even gonna lie. I know that we shouldn't let this shit, but sometimes the internet irritates me because there's people like SPM and other sick individuals like that have done some foul shit, some scandalous shit, and have said some scandalous shit, and people still rock with them. You know what I mean? And it's like, what is wrong with all of you? Like, you're just as bad as a sicko. You know what I mean? Like, but see, that's the thing though. It's crazy what money can make people do. You know what I mean? Like, just because he can make some potential moves for you, or he can financially, benefit you, you're willing to turn the other cheek. Like, bro, you're fucking scum too. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is like you're an equal piece of shit as that individual. Like. Because that's destroying a kid's lives, but see, they don't see it that way because they don't give a fuck because their priorities, meaning themselves, is more important than anybody else. meaning more important than the life of another little kid. You know what I mean? And it's like how could you be so self-centered like that? Like it's crazy. Or just because a few people have done like some good deeds in their lives, like he's fed the homeless or he's donated. Oh, okay, so that gives him the right to touch little kids. Oh, okay, dispense. I forgot it worked like that. Like people are fucking ridiculous. Always like, oh, he confessed to his action. Oh, that makes it okay. Like, oh, okay, let's forgive him now. Behaviors like that don't change. You know what I mean? Or maybe because I know the mentals that behaviors like that don't change. They don't. You know what I mean? Look at the evidence. Look at the documented history of these individuals. The behaviors don't change. But people, like I said, like just because, like, don't. I was a fan of SPM. I had his CDs. Some of my favorite songs, like "Dead President," was one of my favorite songs, of all time. From his the last chair album or the last violin album, whatever. That was one of my favorite songs, whatever. As soon as I found out all of that shit, that shit went out the window, my boy. I don't give a fuck, how many memories I had to the rolla or how good it was. Like, nah, fool, that shit's fucking disgusting, fool. You got me fucked up. But see, people don't see it like that because people, put themselves before anybody else, and it's like, fool, like, that's crazy, bro. And when people be like, nah, that's a lie, it's a lie. Like, why can't it? Look, this shit is not immune to something. If you want, look at the history. People that have touched little kids have been lawyers, doctors, judges, police officers, gang members, social workers, teachers. They come from, in black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Russian, from all ethnicities and from all types of the world, from the homeless man to the vato on the high seat or whatever. This shit affects, anything. It doesn't discriminate. So why do you think that it's impossible for for it to affect him? Why? Because he has money, and money doesn't affect, like bad behaviors don't affect people with money. They're fucking human just like anybody else. So they're gonna make mistakes and they're gonna have fucking problems just like anybody else. Just because they have money doesn't mean all of a sudden that they're not gonna want to do drugs or all their problems. See, that's the problem with people. People think that as soon as somebody gets money, that all your problems just go away, like they just magically disappear. That's not how it works, bro. You can have all that money, for the fucking problems don't go nowhere. You know what I mean? That's the reason why a lot of these rich fools commit suicide or drug addicts or alcoholics. So the money don't fucking take that weight off your shoulders, bro. Doesn't get those memories out of your head. Doesn't get those emotions out of your system. Sure, it makes everything a lot like easier or whatever, but like whatever you have, going on with yourself, the demons you're battling, like Michael Jackson, everything that he was, he went through with his family and he was, he had been through, the money wasn't able to make all that shit go away, bro. It wasn't. Even with Robin Williams, he said it himself, all that money and I could buy everything I want, but still I he has said it himself, but still I'm unhappy. Still, it doesn't make me happy. Yeah, because you can't buy emotions, bro. Emotions is something you can't buy, bro. But the world's got it all fucking twisted that, nah, if you get a nice fat paycheck, everything's gonna be okay when it doesn't work like that. You gotta find your inner self, and that's why I tell people if like they really feel like that it's healthy to go get therapy. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. There's nothing wrong with going and getting therapy and wanting to understand yourself and why you think the way you think or why you feel the way you feel. But see, people make it like if it's like, you get therapy, pinche vato crazy, or you're soft or something like that. And like, nah, fool, like, what are you giving the fuck about the so you're willing to tell me that you're willing to live your life in misery? That way you just stay faced to these individuals you don't even fucking know. You know what I mean? They're not gonna feel what you're feeling, and they're not gonna pay the prices that you're gonna pay for your emotions. So why the fuck are you gonna give a fuck about what they think? They're nobodies, either way. And the ones that do criticize and say something, they're immature, bro. What are you caring about the opinion of them fucking fools for? They're nobodies anyways. They got their own issues. That's why they're clowning you. Because when you clown on somebody, for these behaviors, then that shows that you have some issues. There's a reason why you're trying to stay face or trying to humiliate somebody that for your character. There's a reason behind that, because there's a reason for everything. There's a reason why people do the things that they do. So it's like, okay, now let's get to the bottom of why you find some interest in bringing other people down or humiliating them, and I guarantee you that we're gonna find some problems with you. And then all of a sudden, it's not so fun no more, huh? Because most of these individuals that come and they troll, bro, they have a lot of issues. That's why they're behaving in the manner that they behave. It's not that they're trying to be funny or stuff like that. Nah, that shit goes deeper than that. What did you and your mother think about the whole rebel party scene in the 90s? I'm not gonna lie to you, Cartan. I'm gonna be, I only come and give it a buck right here. We used to go to these party scenes, when they used to have the house parties and stuff like that, to rob them. We used to rob the DJ, take all the DJ equipment, rob the people in the entrance for the money. We would just go to get paid, bro, because we seen them that we could, and these fools are punks, and they have no right to be right here throwing no parties. And we were assholes, bro. I'm not proud of it. It was fucked up. It was stupid because they were just trying to get their hustle on and shit like that. And we just came and we took advantage, bro. But, I know it's fucked up to say it. It sounds scandalous because it was. But that's exactly what we were doing and how we seen it, bro. We seen it as cha-ching. It's a cold game, bro. People were just trying to have a good time and we just came to, and, because we seen it as money. There's the money. So that was fucked up. I mean, sometimes, yeah, like if the homies really wanted to party, then we'll stay and, we'll party and, all right. Like depending, like if homies knew people from these party crews and stuff like that, then it was like, all right, we gonna have the party. They wouldn't charge us. We'll go in there and have a good time. But if we didn't know nobody right then, the homies just wanted some money and they just, were feeling like being assholes and, you know what I mean? And that's a cold shit, bro. Like I said, I can't fund it, bro. We're assholes. Now looking back at it, it's like, man, it's just my mother that will do. They claim all the gang life and names what gang rocks with shit like that. SPM is no bueno. Is on black and white. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like people don't understand that. Like, oh, they lie. The little girl lied. Do you know how hard it is to get a kid to stick with the same lie, right? Like if you tell a kid to tell a lie, how hard it is to get that kid to stick to that lie. Okay, you could you could try it on any 9-year-old, maybe your little brother or your kids or whatever, to stick to a lie. Now you're gonna take them to court, bro, where they're being interrogated by an officer, and you expect them to still stick to that lie? Good luck, bro. Good luck. That kid's gonna fucking crack faster than a mother. You know what I'm saying? But no, they lied, they got paid. Oh yeah, huh? Because that 9-year-old's, gonna be getting paid and being like, don't trip, I'll keep my mouth shut. Son puta madre, pinches pendejadas de gente. But see, in their illusion, they'll try to justify it anyway, even if it makes no logical sense, because they're just trying to justify it that way they could still keep hearing their music or keep supporting it without feeling bad. But nah, bro. Truth of the matter is you support a molester, bro. Point blank. ¿Sabes qué? I would, you know what? I would respect the person more that comes and tells me, ¿Sabes qué, Shadow? He did it, but I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna bump his music because I like it. Chingue su madre. You're a piece of shit, but fuck it. At least you were honest, homie. And I gotta respect that. I would always respect honesty, even if it's bad like that. But like, ¿Sabes qué? Me caes mal because you're supporting a molester, but at least you're fucking honest, so I give you that. I at least give you that. But when fools try to justify this with all these, bullshit lies that don't even make any sense, it's like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Come and tell me que, ¿Sabes qué? You like his music, you still want to keep bumping it and leave the games behind. Like, stop the bullshit, dog. Stop the bullshit. You like his music, you're supporting a molester, and fuck it. But don't give me these lies that, nah, ira que ira no, it's ira, the girl lied and everything. Tell me the truth, bro. You like his fucking music and you're still gonna bump it. Come 100, homie. Don't come at me with that fucking bullcrap. I hate liars, bro. Like, fool, just be honest of why you like. ¿Sabes que you like the fucking music still in there? But trying to justify it with all this mamadas. No, pinche gente se pasa de verga. Fucking liars. But like that, they feel better and they don't feel that guilty, about hearing his music. But nah, you're supporting a molester, bro. Let's face it. When fools be like, oh, it's all these fools from Cali hating on Texas. Like, bro, I was a fan, fool. I had all his CDs. What the fuck you talking about, fool? Everybody bumped SPM down here, dog. We were fans, homie. But, come on now. People lost their minds, bro. Hey, what up, Shadow? What's good? Tell him Crank. Was cracking like it. He did. He did make Tyson also rape someone. Hey, did Mike Tyson also rape? Well, he had allegations against him. He had allegations, about him, but they were dismissed or they were settled. So when they're settled, it's like, were you really raped, girl, or you just want the money? You get what I'm saying? So it's like you really don't know the truth about that kind of shit. When it's settled like that, because only then that were there in that room are gonna know really what's happening. That's why I don't like shit like that. You know what I mean? Because they weren't able to prove that one side was guilty and the other side was, not guilty because they just settled in whatever, however they se arreglaron, because then you don't end up really knowing the truth because that's part of the settlement. So I think it's stupid. Like, okay, so you were just in it for the money or what, Because if you want the truth to come out, I mean, you're not giving a fuck about the money. This is about your reputation, your emotions, and the incident that he put you through. You know what I mean? And no amount of money is going to be able to fix somebody who really goes through that kind of stuff. So when they take the money, it's kind of like, was this just a cash scheme? You know what I mean? Because now you're able to look the other way and pay it no mind because you got paid. So it's like, if this is really about your reputation, credibility, and all of that, it's like, okay. So now it's all, fine and dandy. Makes it kind of hard to believe you, The 90s was a soldier. No, yeah, because we're unsupervised. Of course, when you leave that's what I was saying. When you leave a bunch of kids unattended, unsupervised, just leave kids unattended, unsupervised. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to get into some shit, bro. Or they're going to do something they're not supposed to be doing. As kids, that's naturally how they're going to react, when they're not being supervised. So when you leave your kids out there, a group of kids out there, for about, let's say, 4 to 6 hours, unattended and unsupervised, do I even have to keep this conversation going? You get what I'm saying? You as a parent, you need to know that you need to, observe them and check on them and stuff like that because, as kids, they're going to do some, if you're not around and unsupervising them, they're going to do shit they're not supposed to be doing, Not because they're naturally bad, but because they're naturally curious, you know what I mean? And that's why you're supposed to be there to make sure that nothing bad happens to them or they choose, that don't make no bad choices and stuff like that as a parent. Not saying that you constantly have to be on them and stuff like that, but just making sure that everything's cool. That's it. Not saying that you have to be running behind them, but just making sure everything's okay. But when you leave them unattended forever and it's like until they fucking come home, it's like God knows what the fuck kind of shit they got into. So then they think that it's okay. They're normal, right? So then you leave that behavior. What happens when you let these kids do whatever they want, right? For a period of time. And then now you want to come and say no. They're going to fucking rebel, bro. They're going to rebel or they're going to do it behind your back. You know what I mean? Because psychologically, since you let them do it from this period of time, they think it's normal. You know what I mean? And now when you're trying to say, like, no, stop, now they just think that it's one of your episodes and stuff like that. And they'll be like, nah, or do it behind your back and stuff like that. Psychologically, they'll create some form of logic to why the scenario is playing out the way it's playing out. Because they don't know no better, not because they're naturally bad. That's what happens when you want to be in your own little world instead of supervising your kids. And actually, people are going to come and or be like, oh, no, that stupid kid's going to be. The reason why they're coming in defense like that is because they made those mistakes and they don't want to own up to them. They don't want to be told that how they were parenting is bad or be looked as bad parents. So that's why they come and try to defend their actions with whatever fucking senseless conversation they want to have. No, bro. Point and simple, you weren't supervising your kids there. Come whatever excuse that you want with, bro, that's the truth of the matter is. Leave a kid unattended, what do you think's gonna happen, bro? And that's not just with kids, but that's like with anything, like a puppy or any animal or any creature. You know what I mean? They're gonna fuck shit up. You see the dog feature puppy dogs are, because they don't know no better, bro. You see even animals, bro, when they see that they're little, their cubs or whatever, pinche little lions or cheetahs or monkeys or whatever, that even the parents, they go and they grab their kid and they bring them over here when they're about to like fall off or some shit, because even they know to supervise their kids, bro. Like, nah. If I leave this motherfucker unattended, he's gonna go do some shit that he's not supposed to. And so they stay behind their kids. You see them that they go and regulate también ellos, because they know if they leave their fucking kids unattended, shit's gonna happen. So in the 90s, you had all these parents, they were leaving their fucking kids out there for like fucking 5-6 hours sin pelarlos. Psst, bro, what do you think was gonna happen, homie? Come on now. And you know what's a trip? Is that you don't see it happening now. You don't see the gangs as deep or as much desmadre as there was in the 90s. But why do you think that is, though? Because less kids are out there, bro, for that amount of time. When you're at your house, even if you're on your device, you're still being, semi-supervised, even though that's still building up some form of neglection. That's why gangs are still around. And that's why the numbers are not as large no more, because, there's less kids out there. But like I said, bad behavior still exists because the kids, are just suffering another form of neglection, just not to, the extreme that it was. That's why you still get them, but not as, as a big number as it once was. But see, why you still get a lot of people that admit and say that that's not true and stuff like that, because now it homes in on the parents. And people love their parents, you know what I mean? So you're not going to tell me that my parents are bad parents or they're irresponsible and shit like that. So of course they're going to make all kinds of defense for it. But truth of the matter is you were being unsupervised, bro. I'm not saying your parents are bad or they did it intentionally or whatever. I'm just calling it for what it is, bro. But that's why a lot of people come and run, oh, no, my parents are good parents. No, it was me. Uh-huh. You, as a kid. Okay. I forgot that, kids at that age, are supposed to raise themselves and make every rational decision as a 13, 14, 15-year-old does. Dispensa, what was I thinking? I forgot that at that age, we're supposed to be making, fine choices and decisions. What fucking 13, 14 do you know that be doing that? Pinche 13 años, they meet some fucking hyena, they already want to marry her. Oh, su puta madre. 1 week they want to marry them, the next week get off to the next one, and it's like, That's why kids change habits. That's why you see at one point this was their favorite music, now it's this and this and then. Yeah, because they just hop around. They're not committed to stuff because they're still kids. You know what I mean? So no. But these gang members knew what they were doing. No, these guys, they knew every decision. But every other teenager, no, huh? Okay. I see. It makes sense. But they don't want to look at that and don't want to see none of that. You know what I mean? When they're in court and you see that, no, this kid, he knew what he was doing. No, these guys are breaking the law. But every other teenager is okay. Oh, they're just kids. They're just teenagers. But what a cholo who's equally the same age as them, no, they knew what they were doing, these hooligans. But what every other kid, it happens, teenagers. Oh, órale. Okay, all right. I see. Okay, I see. Makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes logical sense. And I'm right there wondering, like, I'm tripping out at society, and I'm like, how the fuck does no one see this? Like, how does, like, hello? Oh, it's because one lifestyle is viewed bad, so it's like, right there, we could make all illogical sense make sense. Well, I guess. But see, it's when you dislike something because you know that something is bad. Of course, you're going to try to make sense of it, and you're going to try to dismiss all the evidence, that shows otherwise. Like, no. We don't ask those kind of questions right here. or if you point it out, hey, fool, you know that these cholos are bad, so why you talking? Because I get people that tell me that, like, why you pointing that shit out, though? Like, so you want me to keep it hush? So now when we're trying to keep secrets and keep shit hidden and not ask the questions that we're asking, bro, when you have to keep something secretly and everything, then you know this is wrong, homie. If you're going to make a decision about something or view something or try to fix something, you're supposed to know the 100% truth, no, and how it is and every ins and outs of it. But people, nah. What is supposed to, we're gonna tell 100 about these people's behavior, but only tell 50% of the story? Miss me with all that, bro. And see, the reason why, and how people have been going about this since gangs have started, that's the reason why we're in 2022 and gangs still exist, bro. But these motherfuckers don't see that, because all they care about is, you know, their opinions and wanting to be told what they want to hear. Yeah, because that's gonna fix problems. Right here, I could only keep it 100. You know what I mean? Even if it does make us look like bad guys. Well, that's right. You were enjoying life while we were fucking shit up. I think it's overhyped. Yes, the 90s were glorified and they are overhyped. I agree with you 100, bro. It was not the best time to be around, bro. There was a lot of problems happening. She ain't the same no more. I'm only 29, but I grew up around older homies and I was a lot of respect now. Yeah, it is, because these motherfuckers went unattended, you know what I mean? Especially when we're talking about the streets, because a lot of homies got souped up. You know what I mean? They got hit with all these things. So all these kids were going around unsupervised, unattended now, and all these behaviors, got out of control. A lot of it still got respect. Homies don't lose no hope. Yeah, you can't never lose hope. That's what I always say too. Just because you see like something chaotic or whatever, you haven't seen like the change that you want, doesn't mean that you like one thing one thing that blows my mind. And people be like, she hasn't changed. She's still a desmadre out there. These motherfuckers are still around. Gangs are always going to be around. They're forever going to exist. There's no hope in sight. Like, bro, you're not a gang member and you're not fucking out there. So don't give me that shit. I'm still out there. I know what happened. I know what's happening. Bro, it's not the same as it once was, bro. I could see the changes, bro. It's not how it was. It's not, as crazy as it once was. It's not chaotic. The numbers have, shrunk down. The chaos has gone down to a minimum. Now, vatos are even giving passes and stuff like that. Like, we'll catch them on the rebound, or But it's not how it was before, where you were taking fucking red lights and driving on sidewalks just to get to your enemy, guys. You didn't give a fuck if there was hoorah around or none of that. You were gonna get at homies. But now, like I said, but because change is happening, you know what I mean? Before you turn down in any of these motherfucking streets, you will see like 60, 50 vatos on the corner. Now you turn down and you probably see 20. Oh, it's still the same? Is it the same? You gonna compare fucking 60 motherfuckers to 20? You get what I'm saying? It takes time, dog. Patience. Progress is being made little by little, dog. With problems these big, that's how shit happens, dog. Is little by little. You can't lose hope and it's like, we should just give up and let shit go back to shit. Little by little, progress is being made. Motherfuckers that are in the streets, they know what I'm talking about. They could see the changes happening. You know what I mean? Of course, gente that's not from the streets and stuff like that, they're not gonna be able to tell the difference. You know what I mean? All they see is like, oh, look, another shooting in the news, and it's like, oh, shit's still the same. Compare fucking 2 homicides to back then when you used to have like fucking 13, 14. Bro. But see, people want this problem to end like a light switch. And that's it. What problem at this magnitude do you know that gets fixed like that overnight? These fucking people lost their mind. Do they not know how the real world works? They want this shit to be like, yeah, like, let's just end gangs now, okay? Yeah, good luck finding, they can round all these motherfuckers up and kill them and stuff like that. Gangs are still gonna be around, bro. I used to say, back in the medieval times, you can look this shit up if you think I'm lying. Back in the medieval times, if you used to rape, or if you used to, touch kids or break the law, you would get tortured and killed by the most horrendous ways possible, eaten by lions and gutted like 50 swords in you, but like the most craziest shit you could think of. Like they would stretch you until you were split into two. But the most craziest shit you could think of in the medieval times for breaking the law. And guess what happened? People were still breaking the law, bro. Knowing damn well that this is gonna happen to them if they break the law. People were still breaking the law. So come with this, round them all up and shoot them. Está bien. Not gonna change a fucking thing, bro. People don't know how the mental works and how the brain works, bro. You're when people think that this was talking bullshit, fool. This fool doesn't know what he's talking about. When we join gangs, we know that we could get shot, killed, or end up in jail for life. We know we could end up dead. Okay, you're 13, 12, 14 years old when you join these gangs. And we know this information. So you're telling me a 13, 14, 12-year-old doesn't give a fuck if he lives or dies. But that's perfectly fine. It's normal for a 13, 12-year-old to feel like, who gives a fuck if I die or not? That's normal behavior for a 13, 12, 14-year-old to have those, thoughts and mentality. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, the kid doesn't care if he lives or dies, but there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. If everything was so peachy, and chingon at the house and lovely and like how people say it is, then why the fuck does that kid doesn't care if he lives or dies? Like tell me that, bro. That kid right there doesn't care if he lives or dies, but everything is fine at the house and he's full of they shower him with love and everything like that, but he doesn't care whether he lives or dies. Like, explain that to me. Make logical sense of that to me. Like, explain it to me. People lost their fucking minds, bro. But people are not willing to sit down and listen to these motherfuckers for what? They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're liars and criminals. They always ask them, like, why did you guys become the way you guys became or whatever? And then when they tell them, it's like, nah, this was fucking like bullshit. It's fucking liar right here. It's like, man, why the fuck do you ask, bitch? It's like, because not the answer that they want to hear, bro. You know what I mean? They're looking for something else, bro. I can't help you with that. I don't know what the fuck you're looking for. This is the truth. You're not accepting it. What do you want me to tell you, bro? What do you want me to tell you? You think Biden sent the FBI on Trump? No. I think, see, a lot of people don't understand. Trump had a lot of enemies, bro. A lot of people didn't like Trump. People, yeah, they seen the Republicans and everything when Trump was president and everything like that. Bro, this fool was saying shit about Ted Cruz's wife, about Mitch McConnell. He was saying shit about all the Republicans, you know what I mean? Lindsey Graham, especially Lindsey Graham, he fucking grilled that fool a lot. So he said a lot of things about, when he was running against him and stuff like that. So he said, before he was, made the candidate for the Republicans, he said a lot of things about a lot of these motherfuckers, families, kids, parents, and shit like that. So when he got voted as president, they had no choice but to back his plate, because they're trying to keep their job, pues, their seat. So they had no choice but to back his plate. So now he ain't no president. You think that these fools had that really good friendship and bond? Fuck no. That fool had burned a lot of bridges with a lot of people. A lot of people didn't like him, from top to bottom, because Trump's an idiot. It's not like people be like, oh, you're just hating or whatever. You're possibly different. Nah. Bro, I didn't even give a fuck about none of that. But the truth of the matter is that he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't know how to control his mouth. It's not that, oh, that makes him real. No, that doesn't make you real just because you talk stupid about some shit. You know what I mean? That makes you an idiot. Oh, no. Trump kept that one. He had no filters. Yeah, he was a fucking idiot is what he was. We got our own history, and it's a beautiful one. It's a chaotic one. It's a misunderstood one. Sup, homie? Ote, San Diego's definitely up in the house. River Bottom, woo. Not really. Only Salinas reports call himself the headquarters. The Salinas report calls himself the headquarters. Oh, he's been reported. Is cancel fight? What kind of fight promoter is that? Who's the Salinas report? Who's that? Is that like a TV station or what? Like ESPN or what? Or is that like something only in Northern Cali or what? The Malaysian breed is ugly, bro. Tribute. My wife likes it, so I keep it. If she's not complaining, bro, then I don't see why to change it, bro. I'm not here you know, to look good looking for people and to be like, oh, mira, este vato está bien guapo, mira. Carnal, estoy casado, hijo. No, si no me dice nada la pinche vieja, voy a estar aquí tratando de... Órale. What up, bitch? Saludos from Paramount Dog Pad. That's right. The Dog Pad is definitely up in the building. What up is it? What's the topic? The 90s. In the 90s, it was like that. I was like playing all around the neighborhood later. Yeah. I know. I'm telling you, bro. When you go that long without being supervised, bro, now you wanna, not even with humans, bro, but even with animals, dog. If you don't regulate these behaviors, if you just let him be chewing whatever the fuck you want, no, when he gets older as a bigger dog or whatever animal you have, and now you try to regulate the behaviors, that dog's not gonna want to listen, bro. And it's gonna be harder to teach him not to do things than when he is a puppy. And it doesn't just work. People think that there's that much difference between animals and humans. There's not, bro. Why do you think that they test everything on animals before they give it to humans, bro? We're not that much different. So when you try to regulate these behaviors when they're older, it's a lot harder. And even with humans, if you don't regulate these behaviors when they're young, when they get older, it's going to be a lot more difficult. That's why people have a hard time changing the way that they are when they're older, bro, because it is a mission. Once you've already been programmed away, it's hard to unprogram that person that way. That's why some people are short tempered and they need even stress balls and shit like that. Because it's hard, bro. And that these behaviors, you don't even have to be a gang member, just, a regular civilian, but you have bad behaviors. Like maybe you're short tempered, or maybe you're racist, or maybe you're prejudiced, or maybe but whatever, you have some kind of bad habit. Maybe you have a gambling problem or whatever. It's hard to regulate those behaviors once you're older. No, they did on the live. They were saying that you were locked up. I was like, he's locked up? They won't let him out. Like, damn, I hope that vato's not with Big Al. Okay, see, I wasn't mindful. I remember I seen that. I was like, what you mean he's locked up? He's one of my fucking moderators. Who gave him permission to get locked up? Shut up. He was in the 90s, 2009. No more like before, true. Yeah, it's not like how it was before, dog. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, fool. Every barrio that's around out there right now, from the biggest ones, 18, MS, Florencia, whatever, dog. Barrios are not as deep as they once were, dog. Those are the facts, homie. I'm not saying that they died out or they, I'm saying they're not as deep, carnal. Before, you had a line of motherfuckers waiting to get into the barrio, now you have less. You want to know why? Because people remember how the 90s were and what their parents didn't do with them, so now they do the opposite of that, so that's why you don't produce as many gang members. And of course, you're going to have some idiots, so that's why you still produce gang members, because people still refuse to be parents. But now people, since they grew up in the 90s, they know, like, okay, I'm gonna do it differently. You know how they say, oh, you gotta whip your kids, homie, para que se porten bien. I'm gonna put it to you like this: even if you whip your kid now, because you used to get whooped when you were young, you don't whoop your kid as much as you used to get whooped. And it's not because your kid behaves better than what you behave. It's because you know that it's wrong. You know what I mean? You know that it's wrong. So that's why you let him get away with stuff more than what you would get away with. You know what I'm saying? But since you got whooped by your parents, you think that it's okay to do it. But a part of you still tells you that it's not okay. That's why you don't do it as much, because you remember the feeling and you know that shit wasn't right. Because when you're growing up, you see fights on TV, on cartoons, on video games and stuff like that. It's fights between people that don't like each other, right? When you dislike somebody, you hit them, right? Because they make you mad and you dislike them. That's why you react in that manner. Okay. So now your parents are hitting you, bro, or whipping the shit out of you. But they love you. But you know that form of emotion doesn't come out of love. It comes out of rage, hate, and stuff like that. You as a child, you know that. You don't really comprehend the whole entire scenario, but you understand that you hit somebody when you don't like them. So now you're getting whooped as a kid. So that emotion comes out of love. You know that it doesn't come out of love. Now, as an adult, you're seeing it that way because you're an adult now. So you know, yeah, I was behaving bad, so my kids did it. Okay. Because you're an adult, you're able to see it from that perspective. But put yourself at the mentality of a kid now when you were at that age. Now, do you still think that comes out of love? Were you thinking that came out of love? Remember, you're a kid. You don't have the knowledge that you have as an adult. So you still believe in that? Come on now. And don't tell me that sitting down with somebody and explaining shit to them is not able to fix scenarios because it has shown that it has. But who the fuck is gonna take the time to do that? That's too much work, and we gotta talk about feelings and have long talk. Nah. I don't got time for that, dog. I don't have time for that. That's your kid right there. That's your future. You know, you're supposed to make time for your kid, and you know. But nah. We're trying to do this shit like this, fast, homie. I'm trying to go and watch the soccer game or the boxing fight. I don't got time for this shit. Oh, okay. So we just go. All right. I forgot taking the shortcuts to stuff always ends up in, 100% success. Like, well, it's not as best as it could have been because we took shortcuts, but sabes que it's not that bad. It's not that bad. That's crazy, huh? It's not that bad. He's bad, but he's not that bad. Okay. Because society has painted it to be that this is a natural way to behave. Now, one of the most stupidest things that I hear parents tell their kids nowadays, if that kid hits you, you better hit him back. Eh? You better not let yourself. ¿Sabes qué? If he fucking hits you and you let yourself, I'm gonna whoop your ass, man. You're teaching your kid to engage in violent manners and stuff like that. There's a difference from defending yourself to engaging in these kind of behaviors. That is not the best advice a parent should be giving their fucking kid. Tell them to go tell the teacher and everything. Nah, that's snitching. That's your fucking kid when you're putting all these street rules and bad behavior fucking shit into the mix. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, God. My God, bro. Like, and then they grow up fucking fighting everybody, and then they wonder, like, I don't know why he's short-tempered like that. I don't know why he always wants to fight people, and I don't know why he's always getting into fights, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Yeah. This is the advice that we're giving kids nowadays, because it's not, it's not that the image of the kid is on the line. What it is the image of you is on the line. Oh, yeah, his kid is a weenie. He just lets him. Oh, no, my kid's not going to be no bitch. My man, why? Because it's about you. It's not about the kid. It's about you, bro. It's about how you will be seen and how you raised him. It's all about you. That's what this shit's about. It's not about the fucking kid or this. It's just all about you, bro. Always is about you. That's why you're giving the fucking advice you're giving. Because it's just not about the kid. It's about you, bro. You raised the weenie, huh? Now, you can't live with that, huh? You didn't raise a weenie. You raised a good, well-behaving human being. No, but see, the fact that everybody might see it as a weenie, you don't want to be seen like that. That's what it's all about. It's just all about you. It's always about people. Just like these kids that these annoying mi hijo no es cholo, because now it says something about you. So of course you have to turn the other cheek. That's why, hey, jefa, sabes que estoy acá en el tambo, pero dejé el pinche cohete aquí en el cuarto. Hey, escóndelo, and then they go and they hide it. Because now it's not about she's trying to look after her son, but now it's gonna be, this is the kind of kid you raised. Because what was you doing with yourself? And they can't live with that. So of course they're gonna listen. Because now the magnifying glass is gonna come on you, and God forbid that. It's just a lot more about fucking individuals than it does about the fucking kids themselves. That fool says any channel that goes against the own that we be trolling on, the goal is to win the money. Fuck the money, bro. Fuck the money. It's about, showing respect. It's about, there's more important things in this world than money, bro. See, that's the problem. That's what's wrong with big corporations and stuff like that. That they see it's all about the money. They don't give a fuck how many families they destroy or how these people pay rent or why skip that. That's big corporations that they think like that. That's the reason why they are the way that they are. It's not about the money. There's more important things, than money. You don't see that. They just give a fuck about themselves. What self benefits my situation, like, bro. They're the type of motherfuckers to be eating a mean ass feast while that person right there is just watching you guys because he has nothing to eat. And they'd be like, well, nah, my fault no se puso las pilas. Instead of going and breaking them off a piece of something, you know what I mean? I hate people like that. I called my parents out. I didn't blame them, but I told them that they were part of the problem. Yeah, look, when I come and I say the things I said, I'm not saying that they have all the blame and that it's all them and they did this shit intentionally. Nah, bro, nah. But we have to understand what the problem was, Because trust me, these gang members are not innocent. They're not. When I come and I, make these arguments, nah, these fools ain't saints either. And I'm not saying that they don't have no blame on this either. Nah, but what I'm saying is it's a combined, negligent effort that created this problem. Do you know a raccoon from Radford? Yeah, I know raccoon from Radford. Yeah, that's a female homie right there. Why you know raccoon? Let me find out. Yeah, that's a well home. Mi respetos for raccoon. And I know that you brought him up for a reason. I know you must know homie or something like that. You know what I mean? Because that's not a name that you typically throw out there. Yeah, I know raccoon. He was really good friends with one of because my uncles are from my neighborhood. And he was really good friends with one of my tios, so he used to always be at the house and shit like that. Because obviously he's a way older homie than me. But yeah, I know raccoon. He used to always be around when my tio and fixing his fucking cars. Because he used to be into the lowriding and everything. It's not our parents' fault. We just Americanized soft. That was like we are Americanized soft. Hey, you know what? I'm glad you say that. Because there's a reason why Mexico has so many cartels and deaths and shit like that. Because whatever Mexico's doing is right, huh? Whatever recipe Mexico has is está firme what they're doing, how they're raising their kids. That's why there's so many fucking cartels and the murder rate is up the ass in Mexico. Yeah, It's America that really, yeah. That's why there's so many successful people coming from our country, huh? I'm starting to think that maybe that machista and type of way of thinking is maybe not the best way to raise a child. I'm just saying, I could be wrong. I don't know. Gangs, Mexicans that come to America, they become gang members, and then in our home country, they're cartelists slaying people. Nah, but I think that machista stuff is the right way to go, dog. I think we should probably stick to that. We should probably stick to that plan, yeah. We should probably still keep being machistas because it seems to be working in both countries perfectly fine and well. So, you're right, bro. Spencer. Let's keep that mentality. You're right. 100, dog. No, mi pinche hijo va a ser hombre. No le voy a decir que lo amo porque eso nomás es para las viejas. Le voy a decir que eres un pinche desgraciado. Ponte las pilas, pinche estúpido. Yeah, Oh, mira, mi hijo ya es del cartel. Es hombre de verdad. Está cortando cabezas. Ese sí es un pinche hombre de verdad. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, fool. The way people see it is fucking, it baffles me, dog. It's mind-boggling. Oh, the reports are canceled. Who the hell's ever the Selena report, my boy? Like, yeah, Black is active as fuck, bro. Yeah, Black is active. Them fools don't fuck around. Yeah, Black shit is crazy, bro. I have a lot of homies out of Black. Black has always been with the business. So we nunca se rajaban. I grew up in the dope house. Trying to say USP. I know fools from the city. Oh, they got a Blythe over there too, but like, no, it's Blythe 13, not Blythe Street 13, no? I grew up in No Hope. Oh, that's right. You must have, if you know Raccoon, you had to come out of the city of NH. Well, Donald Trump isn't a bad. He's not. Look, Donald Trump is not a bad. Like how they pointed out. He's not, but he's an idiot. That he is. He's not a racist like people say. He's not. Like a lot of people paint this picture of him, or whatever. He's not the fucking devil. He's not the devil. He's just an idiot, bro. You know. Homie, now that you know stuff that came with the G, like besides here to how would you teach the public on how to fix this issue on gangs, on how to be a better parent, how to understand your kid. You know what I mean? What he's going through as he's young. To show interest in what he likes doing, his activities, how important it is to support. What he does, and the decisions he makes, and not trying to control every aspect of his life, but to be supportive of it. Not to be to watch how you speak to your child, not to call them fucking idiots or you're stupid or you're good for nothing or you ain't about shit or that's something they look up to you. Your word means a lot. So even if you were just mad or whatever, that's something you shouldn't tell your kid, bro. He shouldn't hear those words come out of your parents' mouth, bro. Period. So I would, teach them to do the opposite of that, Because I know when you get mad, it's so easy to just snap and say what what you think is right, but it's not right. I thought you were taking off your nails. I was like, what you doing them for? You have to be supportive of them and what they do. But a lot of people, you can't tell them anything. What are you doing? Got my daughter over here scavenging through the fridge. I think Mom's gonna get Burger King.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Get in the boys there. Well, the first day's tomorrow, that's fine. All right, ladies and gents, we out. Gracias for just right here chilling with me. Yeah, she's been